which I still don't understand. And
if that doesn't make your panties drop, I don't know.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Courtney-Jai. Welcome back to my channel. It's very nice to have you here. Now today I have two guests with me. I have Joey and Nathan, who are one of the most beautiful gay couples that I ever have met, and one of them's my best friend, and this one's slowly becoming one of my best friends because he's just cool. And he looks like Superman.
Thank you.
Like, let's be honest, Jay, he looks like Clark Kent.
You stop flirting with my boyfriend.
He looks like Clark Kent. He takes off his glasses. Oh, he's so lovely. Today we're going to be talking about relationship, more so their relationship, because you guys keep asking me questions about how to approach a guy, what it's like to be in a relationship with a guy, and I feel like these guys can satisfy your questions. So, when did you guys meet?
I'll take that question then. So, we had a really boring, that's a horrible way to put it. We had a really boring way of meeting. We didn't have a meet cute or anything like that. There is a kind of a nice point in the story, which I'll mention in a minute, but we actually met on Tinder. So there's obviously a lot of stigma about meeting people online, I think.
I met April on Tinder as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you go then. So it does work sometimes. But
I think it depends on the person, what they're looking for.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, online dating obviously has a stigma about being used for other things, should we say. So, but yeah, we met on Tinder and we got to talking. Nathan was very nervous about meeting, so...
I always thought you were really arrogant over text.
I am really arrogant, just in general.
Yeah, true.
No, so we got to talking and... it took a long while before Nathan would agree to meet me because he was so nervous. You had one boyfriend before, but not really anything that was majorly serious. So you were new to everything, I think it's fair to say. So it did take us a long while till we actually met, but we started speaking on PlayStation chat or whatever and texting, and we were talking for a good few months, I think, before we actually met in person. And it is really important as well when you are meeting people on dating websites or apps that you are really careful. There's a lot of people out there, you hear a lot of horror stories, so I'd always say if you are going to go somewhere and meet someone, it's important to do that maybe somewhere you're comfortable and you have a safe space. We met at a local pub.
Local ground as well.
Yeah, there were places we've both been before, obviously not together, but we...
You have the chance to get out if you need to.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't think either of us had to get out, but...
Have the blueprints of the escape.
Yeah, exactly, you'd already printed off the blueprints and mapped out all the exits and... No, so we met on Tinder and met in person a good couple of months after we had started speaking. And what was your initial impression of me?
Just as you are now, really. You were really talkative. You were, I wouldn't say invasive, but you were trying to work me out. Like trying to stare into my eyes, like smiling because I was like really nervous and twitchy. Like I knew you had control of the date as soon as you walked in, and I was just, it was an interview from that point on, and I was just trying to come across the best way I could. Because I thought you were really good looking, so I'd like...
Sure right now.
You are really sure.
There we go.
Well, I the first person to admit that I'm a very confident person and very unforgiving, and I'm a bit conscious at times that I've probably come across too strong. But I knew how nervous you were and how nervous you looked, and I think you were sweating profusely and you couldn't make eye contact with me. Nathan really struggled with it. He was looking literally, it was almost like something out of a movie. He was on purposely trying not to make eye contact with me and just trying to catch your eyes. I just wanted to obviously speak to you and get to know you in person, but I could tell he was nervous and I probably was a bit mean about it and tried to put you on the spot too much. But
so would you say it was beneficial you guys actually waiting a bit of time first, not just rushing straight into it, like go speak to someone, it being a couple of days and go see. You guys obviously said you've been talking for almost a couple of months before you met. Would you feel like that benefited you? Obviously, especially for you being quite a nervous person and all that, did you feel like you kind of knew Joey before you actually got there, and that helped.
Yeah, it definitely helped. I got to know him before I actually met him. Like, I knew he was sort of talkative before we actually met in person, because we'd spoken on Xbox Live. So having that period to sort of prepare yourself, not dive right in at the deep end, and it's almost like having a fail-safe is like, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Like, I thought that was nice. So you guys obviously you met on Tinder. How long have you guys been together for?
We've been together now just over 3 years. We're our 3-year anniversary on the 19th of September, so just over 3 years
You were
now.
really sneaky by doing it on your birthday.
Well, there was
Only
definitely...
getting me one set of presents.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So there's a bit of a story there. So it was probably, I think we've been talking a good couple of months before we even met, and then we were talking seriously. After we met, we were hanging out a lot and spending a lot of time together, and I think we went out in a local town on just for a few drinks with some friends to celebrate my birthday, and I was really, really drunk, way too drunk. And I
to the point where you can't remember anything. And I always say, in the club, a really bad song actually. Like, I'm ashamed of
Cheerleader.
Like, yeah.
Oh Me Cheerleader.
I actually hate that song, but we actually had a moment. Like, we walked up to each other, sort of like.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
and
I remember none of this. I have vague
So it was like,
images.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And when we sort of connected and we like looked into each other's eyes, and it was really sweet. But he can't remember it, so it actually never happened.
You each found your cheerleader.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's really cringe. I hate that it was that song. I really do.
I think that's great. I think that's one thing.
I'm kind of glad I don't remember it. And we went back to the hotel where we were staying, and I don't remember an awful lot. I do remember enough that I said, well, why, let's make this official. Why, let's be boyfriends. And then obviously we've been together since, and I like the fact that our story is pretty average. There's nothing majorly.
I think there's something like, obviously you saying you can't remember it, and he can't. I think there's something kind of like beautiful about that, because like one day if you ever have like kids or anything like that, like a family and all that, and they go like, oh Dad, how did you meet Dad? Like, and they're like, oh yeah, I can't remember, son. I was wrecked. Go and ask your dad. And he's like, oh, it's really beautiful. Yeah, we met under the cheerleader song, and I found my cheerleader in your father's.
So there you go, and that's definitely not being played at a wedding if there is one.
Oh, I'm definitely requesting that.
Ain't no requests at my wedding. Hypothetical wedding.
Strict playlist only.
Extended.
In fact, I'll be the one DJing, so that won't be happening.
I don't think I'm coming.
So, as a couple, is there any advice that you'd give to younger couples? Or obviously you've been at this for a while now. Anything about sustaining a nice relationship and that sort of thing, and being in public and all that? And like, obviously there's a big fear when you first come out, being with your partner, holding hands and stuff like that, or showing affection in public. How would you guys give advice on that?
Do you want to take this?
Okay.
Or?
I'd say the biggest piece of advice would be make sure you're in a relationship with a person you like to hang around with. I mean, Jerry and I aren't particularly affectionate in public. We don't tend to hold hands. But the key is we're actually really good friends rather than just in a relationship. So we enjoy each other's company, we banter off of each other, we have a laugh, I think that's much more important than just showing affection in my
I 100% agree. I've been around a bit longer than Nathan. But to be honest, I'd had more experience than Nathan before meeting him. So I know I'd had past boyfriends, I'd had a good couple, some were more serious than others. And I didn't realise, and to be fair, it's probably something that I only realised a good long while into mine and Nathan's relationship, that the reason why it works so well, is the fact that we are best friends and we get on so well. We don't need anyone else. We could literally stay indoors for a week and still have a great time, because we just mesh really well. We don't like the same things all the time. We've got our own sort of interests, but it's so key to a relationship. I cannot stress how much of an important part of it that just being like good friends as well as being partners is really important. So it's really important that you can just be best friends with your partner. I think it's, you want to spend most of your time with them, and you're only going to get that if you are really close as friends as well. So I'd say that's the number one thing you should look for. He makes me laugh all the time. He's really funny. We share the same sense of humour. And yeah, we don't always like the same games. We don't always like the same movies, and have different styles or whatever. And we're both our own people, but we have such a good friendship that just really works. And I think that's really important.
I think that's really nice, like a really nice sentiment, rather than it being, just being with someone you like. It's someone that you love and is your friend. Like, I really like that idea that it's more than just a relationship, it's a friendship.
Yeah, I mean, obviously relationships you have to be attracted to your partner, so that is obviously a massive point when you start out seeing someone, that you genuinely think to yourself, like, am I attracted to this person? I know it sounds obvious, but I've been in relationships where I thought, God, they're a really nice person, or I've been seeing someone talk to someone, I think they're a really nice person, but I'm just not really that into them, and maybe it goes on longer than it should, and you don't realise it, and because you think, oh, they're just really nice, they are they're my sort of person, but you've got to have that initial...
But there's no spark there.
Yeah, you've got to have an initial attraction
you got
to found a relationship on. This is why it's hard finding a long-term relationship, is because there's so many boxes to tick. You've got to be someone that you're attracted to, they've got to be someone who's funny, or get your type of humour that you could get on with long-term. And so it's really important, I'd say, my one piece of advice to someone is just find someone that you are really comfortable being yourself around, and you can have a laugh with.
Yeah, yeah. So when you guys were obviously on Tinder and all that, what drew each one of you to each other, basically? What made you stand out?
I don't know.
Great. I win because I don't know. I think I was losing hope in Tinder. I think I'd sent out about 4 million mass mails to just blanket email everyone, just generally whoever came back to me. I think it's fair that you message people that you find attractive in the pictures, and then you go from there. And a lot of the time you'll have these conversations which are just dead end. Hi, how are you? I'm good. You? Good. And that's it. That will be the end of the conversation. So
things didn't pick up straight away from Tinder. We'd have a couple of small conversations, but things gradually started going. We'd have longer conversations, up until the point where we agreed that we should speak, over.
Yeah, it's really hard to form an interest with someone until you've had some kind of actual interaction with them. But I think when we did start speaking on one of the consoles, and we were just chatting when we were playing games, you get to know them, and got to know you, kind of. You were still really nervous, didn't really talk a lot. I think I was just... And I'm a nervous talker, so I just ramble on. I think you're a bit like that, Courtney.
Yeah, I think you guys, from my personal view of you two, you're almost like a yin and yang. Even right now, white, black. It's like, you basically complement each other. Like when Nathan's being quiet, you kind of speak up. When you're kind of being too much, Nathan's like the calm breeze. Yeah, it's like you complement each other really well. You're like ketchup and mustard.
Oh.
Yeah. Food analogy. I like using a food analogy. So you guys have taken your relationship even further because it's not just a relationship now. Like, you own an apartment together.
Yeah. We bought a place about a year ago. I think it was really interesting when we met each other and started our relationship. You were working for graphic design. No, you were working in something computery.
Yeah. I won't go into it. It's really boring.
Search engine optimization,
Yeah,
if I remember rightly, which I still don't understand. And
if that doesn't make your panties drop, I don't know.
I can't remember what I was doing. I was bouncing around.
You were
from
in
job to job.
Fujitsu.
Oh, I was working. Yeah, so I was working for an IT company at the time as well, as an engineer, which really wasn't me. And we were both earning pennies, living with our parents, and both got better paying jobs. And luckily enough, that I fell into a line of work which paid a bit better. So we managed to scrape enough money to. Luckily, we could stay with our parents and save up some money. We managed to buy a place last year, and we've been living here since. And I think the initial fear was we had never cohabitated before. Before we moved in here, and everyone was like, "Are you sure that you guys are going to work?" Because a lot of couples can work when you're got your own spaces,
and obviously being in each other's space, it's a bit more different.
You can really crack and it can crumble you, and you don't know what it's like living with that person, the bad habits they have, and really important of a long-term relationship, regardless, gay, straight, bisexual, whatever your dynamic is, should we say, that you can love them for all their bad points, or at least live with them, overlook them. Because I'm not great to live with. I've got my problems.
Well, I've got my problems as well.
Yeah, but it's and so it's really, it can be make or break for a lot of couples, because you don't know these, and when you get exposed to these, it's suddenly like, oh my god, you could find out that they're a slob, or that they're really overly neat. I think we're one or the other of those, and so yin and yang again. I think so, but it's being able to put up with that, or love them for that, which is really important as well.
I think for me, is my personal view is that I don't think of it as, oh, they're doing this which really annoys me. It all comes down to, for me, is who do I want to spend my time with? Who does this person make me feel happy? And the answer is a resounding yes. So like, whenever you get in an argument, or whenever you want to go and do something outside, it's always like, I want to hang around with this guy, so living with him is just a complete breeze.
Yeah, I feel like also being in a relationship, it's like, even when you're angry with each other, you kind of look at each other and go like, oh, they're so pretty. That's so cool. And I was like, just, you shout at me, but I still like you.
I can hold a really good grudge. With Nathan, I never can, and you fold straight away. You overcome that initial anger or frustration, and then you realise, oh god, I still do love you. You're an idiot, but I love you.
I've done that with April, where like we've had an argument, gone to bed, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sleeping in this bed, I'm sleeping on the sofa. I've laid on the sofa and been like, yeah, I don't like her. 10 minutes later, I'm like, sneaky back in. Just put the pillow down. Then she'll come up and hug me, and I'm like, still don't like you.
Begrudgingly, cuddle up next to
hug me. Hug me.
Yeah, I'll have a brief moment where I storm out, but then 5 minutes later I'll be coming crawling back.
That happened once.
Yeah.
Where you got so angry over something. I asked you a question, and you just. Well, I've never seen Nathan explode, and he just went, oh, and then ran out.
Great impression of me.
I don't know. 3 years now, I've just heard noises and you just ran out of the building and like slammed the door behind you, and I was like, oh well, I've got the apartment now. I'm here, I've got all my stuff.
I went and drove to the Tesco's car park and sat there for 5 minutes.
I shouldn't laugh, but you will have fights.
It is funny in retrospect.
There's as I said before, it doesn't matter who you're with. If it's a man or a woman, you will have your complications, and no relationship is perfect. And it's a point to put across in this interview, I'd say, is it's really not that different, and I think that's something that's really important from all these videos that we're making, is to just stress the point that being gay or being with a man or a woman, it's all the same.
yeah.
You know, it's still just two people trying to, you know, love each other and live with each other and
Coexist with each other,
Yeah.
basically.
yeah, and I think so. That's a really good point to make. Is we are the same as you and April.
Yeah, there are so many parallels that we can draw to straight couple mates like you and April, or my mate and his girlfriend. There are so many parallels that we can draw and relate to each other on. It just shows that it's no different. Like, yeah.
So everybody, I hope you liked that video. If you do, please give it a massive thumbs up. How many thumbs should we aim for, guys? Because you guys are the guests. What's a good amount?
Seeing as Nathan said that he can get more likes on his video than on the one Courtney did with me, I reckon this one should get double the likes.
Double.
Because both of them combined, of course. So
that would be about 400 likes. If we
You can do it.
If we can do
You
that,
can do it.
Yeah, if we could do that, I'm sure these guys would love to be back on the channel. And if you did like these guys being on the channel, please just drop it in the comments below, because I'm sure these guys would love to have a conversation with you. I'm gonna say love, peace. Hey, yeah. Chicken grease. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.
bye.
I'm just gonna keep that like that.
Freeze frame.